Islamic terrorists in Iraq making the U.S. airstrike mission more complicated by the day. They're changing their tactics. Defense officials saying the Islamic militants have been acting like a well-organized army, moving with strategic intent, but now they're starting to blend in with Iraqi civilians. ISIS has control of large areas in northern Iraq. So far, the strikes have slowed the advance toward the province of Erbil, but the U.S. Defense Secretary is saying that with Iraq's government in a power struggle, it may take more to stop ISIS now.
America is prepared to intensify its security cooperation as Iraq undertakes and makes progress toward political reform.
Jessie Jane Duff, retired Gunnery Sergeant for the U.S. Marine Corps and Senior Militant Advisor for Concerned Veterans for America, and good morning to you, and welcome back here. You hear this a lot about, political reform in Baghdad. Do we wait for that, or can we not afford to wait for that?
Well, we can't afford to wait for that, but unfortunately we have great tension now going on between the Department of Defense, the Secretary of State, and we also have tension with the White House because, once again, the military is being asked to resolve a solution because of failed diplomacy, and as a result, they don't have any long-term range plans. So if the military is going to be asked to support this, they need to be free to do so accordingly, and that they're being limited. Their hands are tied right now.
So what are we going to do then?
Well, essentially, we do hope that we are going to continue to support the Kurds, but they have a very outdated force right now. They have a very nice light infantry, but they don't have the long-term strategy to be able to maintain against ISIS. So hopefully we'll have CIA and special forces support them. However, this administration has failed time and time again to ensure that we have peace in that region, and now as a result, we have no coherent plan to meet those goals.
The French earlier today said they will send equipment and weapons to the Kurds in the north. Is that our way out of this?
Well, sadly, we are leading from behind again. Leave it to the French to wave the flag and have us standing in the background just waving at our failed policies because we did not secure peace in that region. And now we are standing in the back while the French lead. Hopefully, we will work with the moderates that are within the region, and we will be able to support the Kurds in their operation because we have to push ISIS back. And we have no plan of being able to do that right now.
So this is John Brennan from 3 years ago, okay? At the time, he was the top counterterrorism advisor to the president. And this is what he said about the possibility of Islamic extremists establishing their own caliphate. Watch.
Our strategy is also shaped by a deeper understanding of al-Qaeda's goals, strategy, and tactics. I'm not talking about al-Qaeda's grandiose vision of global domination through a violent Islamic caliphate. That vision is absurd, and we are not going to organize our counterterrorism policies against a feckless delusion that is never going to happen. We are not going to elevate these thugs and their murderous aspirations into something larger than they are.
He's now head of the CIA, and we are taking this seriously, as we should. That's a much different vision than what he laid out 3 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. We have completely collapsed all of our successes that we had managed. And now we have problems of unrest throughout Libya, Syria, Israel. The entire region is on fire, essentially, as a result of this administration's failed policy. So all the predictions that were said before, that if we did not resolve this and handle it correctly, it will come back. And it has. A vacuum of leadership has resulted in ISIS. And now we are facing this monster. The genocide we have not prevented is now facing us head on. We have Christians that are being annihilated as a result of this. And President Obama needs to take leadership and needs to be assertive on this. This administration has failed all the way around.
So you're saying that he will continue to put more people back into Iraq, despite the public statements over and over by him, by John Kerry, and by Chuck Hagel?
Well, first of all, you should never announce to your enemy, we won't do anything, because that's essentially leaving it to ISIS to do as they will. So we haven't made that announcement, but we should, on some level, send in a support with our special forces, our CIA, to assist with these operations. Otherwise, all the efforts that we have put forward will be in vain. Our blood and treasure is in their sand.
Jessie Jane Duff, thank you for your time out of Washington. We'll see what happens next, and we're asking our viewers that today, that very question, too, about how far we go and what happens next. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.